Tuesday of the month. But
First,
it's also,
yeah,
it's hard
and it
enough
was
to remember
the
today's
first day of the
Tuesday.
month too. That makes it tricky.
Yes, and I thought that I put it in for every month, but it. Oh, that's very smart. I'm gonna do that.
All right, and we are live on YouTube. We're ready to go.
Great, and you're recording?
And we're recording, yes.
Great, thank you. All right, welcome everyone to the Tuesday, June 1st, 2021 Town of Henrietta Conservation Board. I'd like to remind you that the meeting is being recorded. It is also being broadcast on YouTube. And we have here tonight, I'm Bill Santos, Robin Savaglia. Bud is not here yet. Steve Coffey.
Here.
Noreen Reardon.
Here,
And also Sarah and Richard said that they were had other conflicts out of town for work. So with that, I've called the roll, and first item on the agenda is the May 4th, 2021 meeting minutes. They were emailed to us. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Robin. Second, please. Noreen, thank you. And so were there any comments or revisions with those
No.
minutes? None? I see shaking heads. They were good. There being no discussion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. 0. Nice. Great. Any board member reports? I have two. Richard's out of town for work, and Sarah also has conflict for work tonight. So those are my reports. Sarah, Richard. Okay, great. Sorry, bear with me as I'm writing. Conflicts. There's no other reports. We'll move on to application reviews. And we have one tonight. It's application number 21-008, BMW of Rochester dealership expansion for review of final site plan for 2 building additions totaling 7,200 square feet to the existing building on 4 acres located at 4250 West Henrietta Road. It's zoned B1. And I think we have someone online visiting tonight, right, Sarah?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And I think we've got Garrett present with us tonight.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. So,
Did you say Garrett?
yep, Garrett. My name's Garrett Steiner. I'm a project engineer at DDS Companies.
Welcome.
And my senior project manager and engineer, Bob, was on, but I think his Zoom cut off, so I guess I'll just get into it.
Very good.
So, yep, the proposed project involves the construction of 2 additions to the existing BMW dealership building at 4250 West Henrietta Road. It's going to total approximately 7,200 square feet. The additions have been designed to maintain an exterior aesthetic consistent with the current building. The additions will provide room for new service bays, service technician amenities such as break room, locker room, enlarged service drive lanes, and new sales workstations. The proposed additions will be built on existing impervious asphalt parking lots. The proposed addition does not have any new water lines or sanitary lines. The parking lot will be regraded to direct stormwater to existing catch basins and stormwater management facilities. On the north side of the building, we're proposing some planting beds. We plan on having some small native species shrubs planted in those, similar to the plants already existing around the building. We're not proposing to reduce the amount of green space on the property or increase any impervious areas on the property. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Who would like to go first?
Is there a landscaping plan that we can review?
There's not a full landscaping plan at this time.
So you're not, as far as landscaping, you're not proposing any trees, you're just gonna add some shrubs and just sort of beautify the outside of the.
Yes, the exterior, the vestibule at the front, we want to have what the planting beds are going to be.
Okay, and you're not expanding the parking lot at all?
There's
Okay.
a small, maybe 10 by 10 foot section where the parking lot, the curb has to be cut a little bit, so we can maintain the 24-inch drive aisle. But that is the only portion. It's basically one parking space is going to be added in asphalt
Okay,
down on the southeast corner of the property.
thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Noreen, anything else?
No.
Okay. Steve, anything?
Nothing right now, but did you also receive the email from
Yes,
Richard? I believe he had a list of questions as well.
right. Yeah, I'll go through those.
All right.
Are you all set with?
I'm all set at the moment.
Oh, okay. So I did have an email from Richard. He had 5 requests here, or 5 notes. Please show the site runoff from the new rooftops on the plans. And he had a question, what is the intended use of the vehicle bays? And I think you've answered that. So that one's good. Please show erosion control measures during construction to include but not limited to existing storm sewer environmental protection, aggregate of or soil stockpile locations or protection, concrete washout, truck washdown stations, and erosion control plan. Are those on there, or you're going to add those in probably, right?
Yes, we'll create a erosion control plan.
Right. And is there going to be much stockpile, really? That you're going to
I don't think
be digging
so.
up the foundation, right? Pouring
Yeah,
the
there shouldn't
foundation.
be much grading. Some of the asphalt is going to have to be changed to make sure it doesn't get too steep, but no,
Yeah.
there's not going to be a lot of earth being pushed around, I don't believe.
Right, right. And number 4 was it appears that the dumpster enclosure area is modified. Please show any erosions to this area. Is that true, or is it the same and just drawn differently on 2 sheets?
What about the dumpster area?
He said it appears that the dumpster enclosure area is modified. Hey, bud. Is that just, that's not the intent, right? It's just
No.
done differently on 2 sheets, or is it, there's no work there in that area? Is
So
there?
in the existing conditions plan, it should show where the dumpster is. If we planned on moving that dumpster enclosure, we would have to put some details on there for how we plan on installing it.
Yeah, I think he just got the impression that it was being modified, and I'm not sure that's your intent. I think there's no work there, right?
No, we were planning on leaving it as be.
Okay. So that's as is. As is. Okay, so number 4 was it'll remain as is. And then this last question was, will there be a temporary construction fence used in order to protect the public and dealership operations from the construction side? Probably going to have a construction fence, right, to isolate the work versus normal daily operations while this is being built, or is?
Yeah, the area will definitely be coned off and definitely have a protective perimeter on.
Yeah, he's asking, maybe you want to show that, detail that fence or that perimeter on the plans.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
so that your contractor performs that work, and then your client's protected.
Mhm.
And any visitors are protected as well. I think that's it. Did you want me to run through any of those? Or are you good with those, Garrett?
No, I got them all.
Okay, cool. And we'll put them in the notes as well. Same. And Bud, welcome.
Thank you. Sorry
How
for
are
the,
you? Yeah, no worries.
too many loose ends.
Yep.
I've got a question, basically on the southeast corner, where you're adding the addition, and you show that you're going to remove the curb, concrete curb. I was over driving around the facility today, and you need another half acre for just the number of cars that you have that are coming in and that are on the lot. It's amazing. And I certainly can understand the need for the additional, for the additions that you're putting on, which I assume primarily are service bays, right? Give you
Yes.
access, more service area
Mhm.
inside. And removing where the service sign is, and the curb that extends out. Right now that it's even tight getting around there. Are you also, I assume, going to eliminate some of those car parking spaces basically there? Because you're going to be really tight, just eliminating that curb still is going to make you tight as far as cars trying to drive around the building. Is that part of the intention?
Yes, a few of the parking spaces to the left of the curb that's going to be removed, that's going to be a striped off area. Just to make sure people aren't parking there. So when people are trying to get around the building, they'll have adequate turning radius.
Okay, so parking will be eliminated perhaps all the way over to the existing dumpster enclosure, you're saying, or at least several of those spots?
Yes, I think at least three spaces are going to have to be removed, and they'll be striped off to make sure people can make that turn.
Okay, at least three. Yeah, I would agree. On the other side of the building, does your new addition extend into what presently is part of the showroom? There's the showroom, the glass, the main entrance area. But it appears the way it's drawn that you'll actually be eliminating a couple of the full height windows there as part of the showroom.
So I know the additions are also going on inside the building. A lot of the interior of the building is having new stuff done to it. And I think that just is shown on the site plan, but the windows, I don't know if you guys saw the elevation drawings from the architects, but I don't believe any of the windows are going to be changed.
Okay, so the new addition would stop at the very clear disembarkment where the showroom stops. And the building will now extend out from that, but it'll basically keep the other portion.
Yes, I don't believe it's removing any of those windows. I think that's all going to be, even the new portion of the building is all going to be large windows, similar to what the showroom looks like now.
Okay. I think that's it. My son-in-law down in Houston has a BMW race team, GT4, and their schedules have been goofed up a bit, but and they can't go into Canada now, but they're road course operations. Unfortunately, the three cars that are partners basically, or part of the same member world race team, kind of wiped out each other 2 weeks ago. So I think you're going to have to try to replace those for the next race.
Yep.
I'm very, very interested in your facility. I live not very far away from this. What at an interim stage was kind of regarded as the Crystal Cathedral when it was empty at one time. But I think the addition is fine. But those were my only concerns, or at least questions.
Thanks, Bud. So you've answered a couple of my questions. The green space ratios are staying the same. So, and you're building over impervious surfaces. Richard addressed the stormwater and erosion control, excuse me, concerns that I had. And Noreen asked about the landscaping details. So I'm going to add that as a note, if we don't mind, that we recommend having details and plans for landscaping to protect your client. Any other comments? Back to you, Steve, if you have anything else.
No, in terms of the percentage of the disturbed space was what? Just a very small portion of an acre?
Yeah, Garrett, what is the disturbed? It's 7,200 square feet are the two additions, right? So that would be, that's basically what you're disturbing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so the disturbance will be the square footage of the building addition plus approximately 3 or 4 feet off the building addition where they're gonna have to curb cut the asphalt to match the grades. I don't have the exact number, but it'll be similar to the size of the building expansion.
Gotcha.
It'll be larger because they'll have to match grades and push it off the building.
Right.
But with the erosion, when we have the erosion control plan, that's when we usually calculate the exact amount of disturbance we're proposing, and we put that number on there.
Very good. Any other comments from anybody here? So we'll need a motion for our comments. Actually, if you'd like, I'll read through them and then you can make a motion. How's that sound? All right. That's what I normally do. So I had the applicant stated the following. They're expanding and making room for service and sales services. They're building on the current asphalt surfaces. They're expanding and matching the existing plantings. The impervious and green space ratios remain the same. They're adding they're adding 1 parking spot in the southeast corner. 3 of the spaces will be restriped and removed on the southeast corner. And the disturbance on the project is limited to just outside the footprint of the building. I have several more, sorry. Those were comments, sorry. So we recommend the following to the planning board, that they add landscaping plans and details, that they show the site runoff from the new rooftops and plans, that they show the erosion control measures during construction, including stormwater environmental protection, concrete washout, truck washdown station, and erosion control plan. And let's see, they show also a temporary construction fence or protection of the public and dealership during construction. And they show that on the plans. So that I think I got everything right. I need a motion for that, please.
I move that we approve the dealership expansion as discussed.
Okay. I'd recommend to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Robin. Did I get all our comments on there? Everyone happy with those? Do we need to see the landscape plan? It seems limited,
Yeah.
as long as they're matching what they've got, and we're pretty trustworthy that they want it to look nice, I'm sure. So they know the value of that. So if there's no other discussion, I see and hear none. All in favor of our comments and this proposal, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none. Okay, great. We have an approved motion. Thank you, Garrett, for coming in tonight.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll put these notes together and we'll send them over to you.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yep. Good night.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, beauty. Reports. Any reports from anybody? Old business?
I would just comment that we've discussed the situation at what was Patrick Buick GMC.
Yep.
It's now Bob Johnson. I'm not sure if Buick's still in there, GMC, and probably some used cars. Would it be worthwhile to suggest, contact the owners and suggest that the trees that have been so badly damaged be replaced by maybe the more proper species, or maybe we can come up with a suggestion as a particular kind to have, but that would be attractive, would still meet the needs that they have. And maybe now Bob Johnson has many, many dealerships. He's got them out in Avon. He's got up on
Mhm.
Ridge Road, and it appears as like Van Bortle very much looks to work with the community and the towns that they're in, and guidelines. We probably should make use of that opportunity when they're settling in, say, look, you see this and that looks bad for you. We suggest you replace them. That was part of the original agreement, was to have the trees, blah, blah, blah. That's
Right. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think,
you-
would
do
it be the administration that would probably reach out, right? Someone from,
Well, I have a question first. Do you think they're not going to come back at all?
They will, they're just not going to be proper form, they're going to be weak. And they're not going to be healthy, let's put it that way.
Because my only concern is, I agree with you reaching out. I don't think that's a problem, but my fear is if they pull those trees from their existing area, it's a small area. I don't know a lot about trees, but roots and things like that, to try and come back and plant something over top, I'm not sure that that's
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
a healthy option.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because they're a good sized tree. If you
Yeah.
try to grind that stump, you can't get down enough to put in something new.
No.
right, not without damaging the,
Yeah.
the
Right.
curbing and, yeah.
So if what you're saying is true, I haven't seen the other Bob Johnsons, but if they maintain them well, I would be willing to give them the benefit of the doubt in the
Mhm.
hopes that they'll,
Well, even to just approach them and, let them know that we're concerned about that. There may be some other options. There may even be, that might be better to be a bush than a tree. I don't know.
There are
but
mitigation.
Do we know what they were
efforts.
originally? What
Oh,
they
yeah,
actually-
there's a huge selection of fantastic trees. So maybe just a remediation pruning over a series of years would be better than nothing, and would improve them a lot. And that's why I had first gone in to talk to them, being an arborist myself.
Mhm.
And that is something that I was thinking about doing as well, but
can the conservation board send a welcome/recommendation letter?
That's not a bad idea.
Is that, I don't know if that's in our purview. That's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good
Yeah.
question.
For what
I
it's
would think
worth, we
it's
might simply.
Definitely an administration question, right?
Mhm.
Well, and we could very subtly indicate, as with BMW, that if at some point they needed to modify the building, that has to come before the Conservation Board. So, we want to be a partner or, be a good partner and a good, community relations with them. But that, it isn't just no, we don't want to do anything, because they end up having to come before us at some point when they want to enlarge, and most of the dealers, you'll notice, are upgrading and have to come before the conservation board. I mean, that's internal for our purposes, but it's, but if need be, that's something to, they should be aware of. They're buying a facility, buildings and lot, pay $10.5 million in tax for it, as it is, and that doesn't come before us. But if they want anything to change, they probably could have, if they'd made some points with us, trying to make it look good, that can't hurt, wouldn't hurt.
So Bill, can we, the meeting's still open, we can certainly add to our meeting minutes. Can we make a recommendation perhaps to Chris that, the conservation board discuss this,
Right.
Possible remediation
remediation,
pruning
yeah.
over the next 2 or 3 years might help those plants, trees come back healthy and, formed correctly. Is that possible? Can we make a motion?
Yeah, you just made one. So.
Well, and the timing is good because right now
Who's the-
they look really bad,
who's-
and I'm not a arborist. I don't know what does and doesn't, correct itself
Right.
or whatever, but they look terrible right now. And they, no one's going to say, well, that's good. That looks nice. It'll be all right.
Right,
So at least to make the first step.
right. And I'm sure they're trying to make it look nice, and it would
Mhm.
probably behoove them to try to repair that if they can. So what would be the verbiage that we need?
I think saying something like to preserve the existing trees, it would be a good idea to approach. Well,
like the
Recommending
remediation.
remediation measures. be
In there somewhere,
taken.
because that leaves a
Yeah.
couple of options, but it says, you need to be proactive, whatever.
yeah, to engage,
Remediation.
maybe to engage with an arborist to consult with you about how to remediate the trees through proper
Yeah.
pruning, something like that.
How about the conservation board welcomes Bob Johnson, GMC?
Like that.
We appreciate that they're moving into existing space rather than building on unimproved areas. In addition, the Conservation Board would like to recommend that they consult with an arborist and look into remediation pruning in order to save the existing
Wonderful selection
wonderful variety of trees.
of abused
We can almost
trees.
use that for
On
any
their
type
lot.
of future state,
Mm,
Yeah,
conservation welcomes you and,
Right.
being very inviting. And
I'd
that's-
like to encourage you.
Like that, yes.
Well, we could say that
Is there
we,
a second?
could I just say that we could also add that we are aware of the trees, how they have looked in the past, and we're happy to see there's new blood in the.
Yes.
Refer to your handbook.
Hmm.
I'll second.
Okay, Noreen second.
There's hope.
Very good. I didn't get to write all that down, so we'll have to go back and listen to the recording. But it is essentially welcoming Bob Johnson dealership to the neighborhood, and we're recommending remediation measures and possibly, recommendations from an
Say that
arborist.
we encourage them to
Encourage, yeah,
enlist
enlist the services of
services.
an
Okay,
arborist,
there we
yeah.
go.
So we can write up something like that if you like.
Yeah, that's great.
Use the right
Yeah.
verbs.
Yeah.
Adverbs, that sort of thing.
Robin moved and Noreen seconded. And is there any other discussion on that?
Oh, great.
Would you
idea.
like to read it next time and vote on it next time, or would you like to vote on it now?
I'm okay with voting on it now, and then,
Yes,
we kind of massage
That's
the terminology, but
yep, very good. Yeah, you
I think
receive an email and the verbiage will be in there, and yeah, we
Yeah,
can, and
sounds
probably recommend that the administration look at it too,
Mhm,
just to
mhm.
Mhm.
And I think
make
as
sure
Steve
they're
said,
okay with it.
it sets a really good precedent. I think,
Yeah.
the follow through, shows the follow through of the Conservation Board in that sort of
Yeah.
thing. And solves a
Okay.
problem that we were trying to figure out how to deal with, and this does it with some new blood.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up, bud.
That's all right.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Are there any opposed? It didn't sound like it, so thank you for that.
Still maintain my interest in car dealerships.
Any, yeah,
I want
I
them to look
know,
nice.
I know you like cars.
I do.
It's one of your hobbies. No, it's 3 of your hobbies.
Yes.
Maybe
Too
8.
many hats today. That's why I ran a little late.
Is there any new business that anyone wants to bring to the board tonight? Hearing none, our next meeting is July 6th. So place it in your smartphones, your smart calendars, your paper calendars, that sort of thing. I need a motion for adjournment.
I can motion.
Thank you, Steve. A second. Thank you, Noreen. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. 7:30. Thanks for coming out.
Sarah kept saying,